Hey guys, can't believe you actually got a bit of time to waste on a Saturday. I want to have a look at this little story. Hey, as I said, what a setback having to sell our house to just pay off accounts and pay off suppliers and make sure we were doing the right thing by honoring God. But my wife and I always stayed faithful in giving to the building fund of the church, and every month we'd give, and we said, I just believed in my heart that we were going to have a house of our own one day. And probably about, well, it's almost a year ago now, coming up to a year ago, we'd thought about it and we were looking at some stuff, and there was a chance in New Zealand with a small deposit you could buy a house. The government was incentivizing people to buy houses, and so we looked at it and we thought, let's try and see if we can get together enough money. And even that small deposit was a miracle. And that weekend we'd put an application in. We'd seen this little section that was just great, what we wanted and what a blessing it would be. We put in the application at the bank. That weekend we had a men's conference at church, and Pastor Luca Robinson was there. And during one of his preachers, he'd finished preaching and he was just having a word or two for a few people, and he said, hey, someone just trying to buy a house, and I want to pray for you. And so that's me, man. We got an application in, so I ran up and as he was about to pray for me, he said, it's like God's telling me I mustn't pray for you. There's a problem with your deposit. And he said, oh, I think there's a problem with your deposit. I'm not going to be able to pray for you, but I'm going to pray anyway because God's going to do something. And then he said, I feel God is challenging. There were 85 guys there. He said, I believe God's challenging these 85 guys that they need to help you get a deposit, because that's what the Bible says we to do. If someone doesn't have, you meant to help them. And so I was really humbled by that. And he prayed for me, and I thought, oh, that's okay. Well, let me tell you, incredible. In the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, we had over $32,000 put into our account. Just people, just amazing, generous. People giving from small amounts, which was still generous, right up to big amounts. And I just go, man, God, how did that work? And then the story started coming. One lady had a dream 2 weeks before and said to her husband in the morning, I had a dream we were giving Victor and Ruth money for a house deposit. And he goes, they're not even looking to buy a house, and next thing he comes to men's conference, he goes home, he tells her, she says, I told you. And so they gave, and just other people praying about the exact amount to give and giving the exact amount we needed. Next thing, we were able to get a much bigger deposit, a much better interest rate. The house price came down because we were able to pay it properly. And I just go, no way. What a setup from our mighty God. And God can do anything for you too. Then we're in the middle of lockdown, believing for title, and the same pastor had asked us just 2 months before, how's the house going? And I said to him, well, we're still waiting for title. There's been a lot of hiccups and hang-ups, and we were supposed to have moved in by now. And after the service, he says to me, I just feel like God's saying in 2 months, everything's going to be sorted. Well, you will not believe me. In the middle of lockdown, here in New Zealand, we get an email from our lawyers, you've got title. And guess what? 2 days or 3 days before the 2 months was up. Let me tell you, revisit the promises that God has given you. God will turn setbacks into setups. Hey, awesome for you listening to this little testimony. I just give God all the glory. This is not because of me, not because of anything that I've done, but you just stay faithful. God will make it a setup. Hey guys, God bless.